Hello, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. I am more than excited to share with you my newest digital kit called Flamingo Fancy. And I took both the modern and the vintage and I put them together into a kit. I have not seen a Flamingo junk journal kit. I think flamingos are pretty popular in the crafting world, and I found some really awesome vintage flamingos and I made a journal that is also for sale. I'm going to go through all of the pages and what you get in the kit, and as usual, if you purchase the journal, if you leave me your email, or actually you don't even have to do that, I can just message you on Etsy. I will message you the link to download the entire kit for free. So if you buy the journal, you get the kit for free. I also offer physical prints, and I'm going to make a clarification with the physical prints. The price for the physical prints does not include a digital copy as well. There was some confusion on that. The price for the physical prints is just the price for the one copy. If there is a lot of interest in physical kits coming with a digital copy, let me know, but I would have to raise the price on that. Otherwise, it's not worth my time in ink and paper to do that. Okay, so let's get into this. I used a paper pad in the journal from Michaels, one of the Hot Buy paper pads. A lot of you probably have seen it. A lot of you probably have it. I think it's called Bahama Mama. There's usually Michaels and Hobby Lobby. They will have a lot of this like tropical summery type paper. And if you're like me, you buy it and then you don't use it. You buy it because you love the colors. It's a good price if it's a hot buy. You buy it to have it in your collection and you don't use it because you're usually making vintage type things. There's not really much to go with it. You just have a paper pad. So that's where this kit comes in. It is meant to complement the tropical paper pads. So let me show you the kit and then we'll get into the journal. Here's the pages. Obviously they're meant to be folded in half like so. So here we go. I worked on a lot of background layering, and I love how this is the water, and yet you still have like kind of the floral, or not floral, but like almost like a painted colors coming through. There's some flamingo silhouettes and some flowers. So there's this one, and then there's this one, has kind of a canvasy type, but also there's a lot of like painting type effects. So here is what I mean with the vintage images of flamingos. I found these in old book scans, and then I just used Photoshop to extract them from their background. And what I've been playing with and loving so much is Pixabay. I used to think I didn't like Pixabay because it was mostly just like photographs and who uses photographs, but I've been learning a lot of techniques to blend them in with other things, like these flying flamingos. Love it. Here's a little line drawing of a flamingo as well. So this is a background page. If you want it to be, you could print it on the back. There's wide lines for journaling. And these are a bunch of flamingos flying in the sunset, but there's also a texture I used from, if you guys have not looked up the coffee shop blog, especially if you're a designer, she makes really great like textures and things like that. And I incorporated one of her textures in this to give it kind of an artistic look. Here's another one of the pages, kind of like a notebook page open. And this is actually like a pineapple top here, and then flamingos. And then you can kind of see like pineapple in the background there as well. I love this one because it's kind of like a canvas, but there's pineapples all over it. This is kind of a background page too, if you want it to be. This is also kind of a background page, and I love this because you have the bright tropical flowers, but there's little white flamingos all over the place, as well as the lines for journaling. So this is one of my favorites for the backgrounds. And then here we have to do, so you could write a list. And we got another flamingo and a little bit of lace up there. Love that. And this is notes, so you can write notes here. I love how this came out with the pink lace background here. Another vintage flamingo that I dug up. And here's some more flying flamingos there. Love how the hibiscus flowers came out and how they came through, and the palm fronds. So summery, yet it still has that hint of vintage that we all love. Love, 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 love this page because these are both vintage images. I like how you can see the different kinds of flamingo heads. And then I added, I believe these are graphics fairy. I added some frames to them. And then there's flowers on the back of the canvas. Now let's get into our elements here. We have 4 pockets, and they're mostly pineapple related, but there's this one here, this one, like you can't see that, the flying flamingo. Love the pockets. And you can see how I use them when we get to the journal. These are either covers or giant journaling cards. I originally designed them as big journaling cards because I like big journaling cards to have more room. But then I thought, oh, these could be covers. But then when I was making the journal, I didn't want to use them as a cover. They just didn't work as a cover for me. So I used them as big journaling cards. And again, that's how I love them. So this one says Be Happy, and this one says Flamingo. And then you get 6 of the smaller journaling cards. Just had to put this one in here again, and this one as well. But just different journaling cards. And then just kind of a different element sheet. So we have a bunch of circles, rectangles, and hearts. And I used every single one of all of these in the journal so you can see how they can be used. So that's what the flip through is. Let's look at the journal. Had so much fun making this. So I used some of the paper from that Bahama Mama, I think is what it was called. I'm going to zoom out slightly so you can see the whole journal. All right, so here we go. So it's like foiled here on the top with the palm trees, and then on the front, it's kind of like a tag. It's hot glued on, but I used a lot of this yellow kind of crocheted type. It was from like a thrifted sweater. I used it all throughout, and there's a little bit of a green piece of die cut ephemera behind it. And then this is sewn on. This is one of the journaling cards. And then I've been using the Tim Holtz sayings. It says miscellaneous. So the theme of this journal is kind of just note-taking, writing miscellaneous things, kind of like a bullet journal type idea. I love how this is kind of also padded because of this behind it. It adds a lot of texture. So then we just have a ribbon closure, and we'll get inside. Here's the inside, again, paper from Bahama Mama. So here's how I use the pockets. I stitch all the way around them, and then I glue these 3 sides. And also because of the paper pad from Michaels had a whole bunch of cut-aparts, I use those throughout too. So like this one here. And then I added a Tim Holtz, the little things, and then just a coffee-dyed tag. So again, I'm using a bright modern kit and adding elements like the Tim Holtz sayings as well as the coffee dyed tags just to make a more vintage look. So here we go. I'll show you. You've already seen which ones are mine, so I don't have to point all those out, because what I did was I took paper from the paper pad and then printed the kit on the other side. So I cut this down to 8.5 by 11, put it through my printer, and printed my kit on the other side. So you will see my paper and then the Michaels paper. So here's one of my journaling cards, just stitched and inked, and then one of the cards from the kit. I did add a little bit of coffee dyed paper in here. This is one of the cut-aparts. And then here's how I used more of that yellow sweater with yellow button. Journal page, and then here's one of the big journaling cards, but I glued it into a tuck spot and added some lined paper so you could make more notes. Some cut-aparts and tickets. Here is a big paper ribbon, and it says remembrance of things to come. So again, just kind of, what am I looking for? What word am I looking for? Prompts, journaling prompts, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let me put on another light. One of my lights broke, and it's too dark in here. All right, and so just a little bit of scrapbook paper and a little index card thing to journal on. Here's one of the circles. What I like to do is back it with some kind of trim, like I used the yellow piece of sweater here, and then zigzag it and use it as an embellishment. If you don't have a sewing machine, glue works great. So here's one of the little cut-aparts. Today is the day, and I just added it to my journal page. And then just a little bit of scrapbook paper here as a mat for journaling or a picture frame. I made a little tag here. It says I could really use, and it has a button. And then this journaling page, what I did was made a secret pocket. I sewed it onto some coffee dyed paper. We got a deep pocket. So there's a game card and this other big journaling card slipped in there. But as you can see, there's lots of room to put lots of things in it. Here's how I used the label. Again, just zigzagged backed it with something, glued it on. And then this is K & Company, like a tropical trim. Here's another one of the pockets with a tag and an index card. And then here's how I used one of the hearts. Again, same concept, and then it says take it to heart, and I just kind of made it a tuck spot so I could put on an index card there. And then here's one of the journaling cards, and then this is just some like acetate, like a sheet protector that I stitched around and put some cut apart hearts in there. One of the cut aparts, and then I added I enjoyed chatting with. There's one of the journaling cards, one of the circles. So just adding lots of little elements. There's my card right alongside with one of the cut aparts. There's a paper ribbon, and then here I put the labels in the middle. This is from JunkThatTreasures. It is like a time card, and then I added my journaling card. It's another circle. One of the cut aparts, and I just added it onto this like graph cardstock so you can add a picture underneath. You have lots of journaling space. These are like flat back buttons. They're flowers, but I just added them there. It says tomorrow I will be better at, and I love this scrapbook paper. And that says so happy. And then again, big pocket, and there's two cut aparts in here from the Michael's paper pad. And then I added the power of thinking onto that little cut apart. And here's another cut apart, but this is a card. And I did a stamp there so you can journal. So this is so fun for going into summertime. I know we're not quite there yet, but even springtime and thinking towards summer. There's a cut apart tag, big coffee dyed tag, and then it says the story. So again, just an everyday type of a journal. Here's some post-it notes. It says aha. There's like 2 or 3 of them there. My favorite. And again, a pocket in the back. And this is from AboveParrCrafts. I love how she has colored library cards, and I just put my stamp right on that. So you can slip that right in there. And there's the back. So excited about this kit. Again, I will have the link so you can purchase the journal. I will have the link to purchase the digital kit, as well as the physical version, the physical printed version of the kit. So have a wonderful, wonderful day.